Hey, did y'all watch the debate the other night, the GOP party? GOP, of course, stands for Grand Old Party. Recently, I asked several people in America what GOP stood for, and not many of them knew. Any of you that do know, I just reminded you what you already know. That's the Republican Party. You know, there's lots of different numbers being used online with regards to viewers, how many people actually watch the show. The number that seems to be the most accurate is 13 million. Viewers watch Fox, in upwards to 75 million watch Trump on Tucker Carlson, and I think he was on the X platform, right? Kind of going through his stuff. And his interview with Tucker started exactly the same time as the GOP debate started on Fox News. So Trump dominated the debate, and he didn't even show up. But he did dominate it. Look at this, 75 million people. Wow, that's a big number. One thing that I found really interesting in the debate at the very end, when the commentators said, if Trump was elected, would you support him? And that was the rule, keep in mind, that Trump had to sign, and he wouldn't. In order to be on the debate, you had to say and that you would, support whoever was the nominee. And out of the 8 people on stage, 7 of them put their hands up right away, and 1 did not. I wonder if he'll be allowed to continue on to the next debate. Interesting to watch. Brian's fact sheet. I got facts for you and I want to share. There are 2 genders. There's one God. Good guys with guns is good. Bad guys with guns is bad. Capitalism is good. Socialism is bad. Liberals are mental. Hey, did you get that? You got the facts? Okay, moving along now. Woke. What does woke mean? I've been hearing woke for a long time now, and I had to look it up the other day, and I've asked some people as well, what does it mean? People that use the word always, what does it mean, I asked, and they say, I'm not sure. I said, maybe you shouldn't use it. Maybe you should use another word that you really understand. But I kind of got it sorted out now. Obviously, woke means left. You're a left-wing wacko, right? You do progressive things, you're woke, and people with minds want that to stop, and we want to kind of get you back on the line and correct things as we go forward. But woke does mean other things as well. The liberals say that woke means that people on the right are racist and bigots and so on, because it was used way back when in the 1600s and 1700s to describe black people. I don't know where they get all this stuff, but they say black people wanted to be vigilant because they would be harmed by white people, and that was where woke came from. Whatever, and now they say that the word woke was hijacked by the far right. Not used, it was hijacked, of course it was. Liberals go on to say that woke has become a charged political catch-all phrase, often used as a battering ram and a battle cry, and to many a slur. Woke is another way of saying the N-word about black people. Okay, then the conservatives say the word woke was originally used to describe awareness of discrimination. It's been adopted by us on the political right to discredit policies and politicians that we consider to be too progressive. The left practices discrimination. They hate us. It's a term that's evolved, and now woke means that the left is crazy. Kind of, sort of, but that's more or less the description that I was able to uncover. Interesting stuff. Now, according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, 106,699 Americans died of drug-involved overdoses last year. Wow. And we're talking about other things like people crossing the border and gun control and all of these things. And look at this. There's 106,699 murderers out there. Let's go get them. These are people that sell fentanyl. Most of these people did die of fentanyl. Drugs that were poison. Why do you want to kill your customer? I've always wondered about that. These are your customers, drug people, drug dealers, and you seem to want to knock them off one by one. But that's a staggering number. Wow! Somebody needs to do something about that. Maybe stop talking about all this silly stuff and stop trying to put a former president in jail with all of this made up, fabricated stuff, and on goes the list of things that you shouldn't be doing. You should be at government I'm talking to now. Address the issues here. Over 100,000 deaths. Not nice. Seattle. Seattle is another woke city. I'm going to use that word now more, since I kind of understand it. Now that I know it just stands for mental, I got it, right? Anyway, Seattle, they started hiring unarmed alternate response teams now to respond to 911 calls. So they wanted to defund the police. That's what they wanted to do, many of the left-wing wokey people there. And now they say we're going to send social workers to a situation. So if somebody's in a house holding, a mother and child by gunpoint, and he's crazy, rather than send a policeman, they're going to send a social worker there to talk him down. Good luck with that. The woman that's kind of spearheaded that, she's a Seattle councilwoman. Her name is Lisa Herbold. And she was originally behind the vote also, of course, to defund the Seattle police. And here's some irony for you. In December 2020, somebody threw a rock through her window. And in Seattle, because of people like her, if the guy was caught, he wouldn't get charged anyway. It's like they encourage them to be bad. But in any event, she panicked because somebody threw a rock through her window right into her living room. What did she do? She phoned the police. Of course she did. At the same time, she was trying to defund them. Left-wing people. In Canada, there's been a lot of fires there in Canada. Canada's on fire, particularly in the west, but in the east as well, and all the smoke going out of New York City and so on. I think you know the story. I think you've all seen the headlines, right? Here's some percentages for you. 25% of conservative voters assign a high extent of responsibility for the surge in wildfires to climate change. So 24% of conservative people believe in climate change. 91% who vote NDP, which is code for socialists, say that it's climate change for sure. Every time there's a little fire, it's climate change. 88% of liberal supporters say the same. And there's the separate party, whatever, separatist party, I'll get it, in Quebec, BQ or something. 81% of them say that it's climate change. 100% of all these people are insane because it doesn't make sense. Whatever. Hey, we've talked before about climate change, but every time there's a little fire, they forget about the arsonists. They just say it's climate change. Don't let a fact get in your way. Hey, y'all come back. See ya.